Okay, somebody gave me this phone, which actually is a visible phone, a ZTE Blade A3. And they wanted me to set up an access point for them so that they could use it for internet. So I already had the access point set up, but the only thing is that the two phones that I actually use, I've had for a while, and they actually were part of the old plan, which was a $40 a month plan, which then you could get another $15 off for having so many members as part of your family plan or party plan. So anyway, I actually had those two phones. They cost me $25 a month per phone, but I've never upgraded them because I really haven't seen any reason to upgrade um, them because I live in the rural area, and obviously the service enhancements that they offer are usually for metro areas, and so there's a, I think it's a 30, and I can't remember the the other one cost, but I think it's a 30 and a $50 plan. Anyway, pardon me for not remembering because I'm not looking directly at the computer, but I don't use those plans anyway. But this phone is actually set up with the $30 a month plan. So all I did is basically hooked it up to the phone to the access point, or you could consider it a hotspot, and so that I could actually test it using the new service with an access point, so that like I say, you could use it as a whole house internet type of service. So what I found is that actually the new service works like the old service when you're using phones tethered to an access point, because there's no throttling going on, except the speed can be slower because of the congestion on the tower in the area, but there isn't actually anything that slows down the service as far as on Visible's end, because it's just been disabled or doesn't work when the phone's connected to or tethered to a hot access point. So essentially I had already done a video covering the access point in the phone, and the all that. So I'm basically not going to go through that again. So you can review that that video if you want to see what the access point is all about. It's basically just having to deal with Visible using their new plan on basically I think it's pretty much just the cheapest phone that you can actually get from Visible. But if you're just going to use it for a maybe temporary, or from time to time or whatever. I mean, you essentially you can use the phone. You can take the phone with you to work, or when you go somewhere else, and then just when you get back home, you just plug it back into the access point and turn on tethering, and then it provides the internet for the whole house, and then keeps the phone charged until the next time you may want to use it out and about. And if you're traveling, you can actually just take the phone, the access point with you, and use it the same way you would use it at home. But you just have to take both parts, and then the service speed might be different at a different location, because I don't know. But the thing is that it should work in most locations, especially if you're in a hotel, which usually are have better cellular coverage. But anyway, I have other videos that basically, in this, I have other parts of this video that are actually going to cover the speed on the computer and the speed on the phone itself, and you'll see that essentially, I get speeds on the computer and on the phone of up to 30 megabits per second, which maybe not be the best when comparing them to maybe metropolitan areas or 5G service or whatever. But essentially, they're completely fine, or very usable for somebody to basically have use this type of setup just for internet. So I'll just be back with the next part of the video. Do a quick test of the speed of the phone connected to the access point. I guess you just have to trust that I'm actually using that phone and that access point, because there's no way of telling from this interface. But I'm just going to go ahead and see what you see the last test with the same setup got me almost 30 megabytes per second. So I'm just going to go ahead and do it again in real time and see what we come up with. Looks like it's a little bit slower, but the thing is that when using cell phones for internet, the speeds can be kind of random, because there's no guarantee of the bandwidth guarantee from the provider, because you're just paying for a basic internet plan or a data plan. So I'm just going to try it one more time here and see if we get something a little bit bigger. But it looks like we're still almost 26 megabytes per second in that time. So I'm just going to do it one more time here. If this was actually throttled, you might see that the speed maybe, start out really fast, but then it'll actually be throttled down to under the limits of, I think with visible, it's actually, supposed to be about 5 megabits per second. But as you can see, we did get over 30 megabytes per second in this run. And so it's not really limited. So okay, I'm just doing some recording directly off the phone now to see if we can actually get kind of the same speed that we were getting from my computer. And you can see so far that looks like the speed will actually be about equivalent to the speed that I was getting on my computer hooked up via Ethernet. So I'm going to just try this a couple times and make sure that everything is like it was on my desktop computer. So I'm just going to click on test again here and see what we get. And you can see that maybe like on my computer, the test directly out the phone is going to be about the same speeds as I got from the computer. You can see where this is actually just exactly 31 megabytes per second from the phone. And I'm going to just see if you can okay, so you can see that at the bottom there, ZT Blade A3 Prime is actually the phone.